Hi everybody, welcome to the Gertzwolds. My name is Rochelle and today we are going to be talking about having puppies. Not only is having puppies very stressful, it can be overwhelming, and on top of that we're going to talk about how to handle that while having a toddler at the same time. We have a German Shorthair. Her name is Nelli. She had 11 puppies. And it was quite the experience. I do have to say I am not a professional by all means. This is just my experience of what we went through. Please call your vet if you have any questions or anything like that. Take their advice. This is just merely me telling you our story and what we went through, and we went through a lot. So let's just get into it and let's just show you some of the things that we did to prepare. So when we found out that Nelli was pregnant, we went ahead and started building her a birthing box. So I'll put a picture right up here for you to see. It was just a box for her that she felt comfortable in, something that she slept in every night so that she could, just get comfortable to that box and feel safe having those puppies. We then went ahead and we already had an X-pen, just like a X-pen cage that we ended up using after we had the puppies. We just kept the puppies in that box and then we put the X-pen around it. We did have some sneaky little puppies that were escape artists, so we put that around the box so that they couldn't get out. So that was interesting. And we also reached out to a lot of friends and family for towels, blankets, things like that, that they no longer were using, that we could use for the puppies as well as Nelli during labor of these puppies. So one thing that we thought was very important is to make sure that Nelli felt comfortable at all times. So we had tons of blankets, pillows, lots of things like that. When it actually came time to the labor portion, we tried to limit some of that and just have some towels down because we knew it was going to be kind of messy. So let's dive right into the night that she started having the puppies. Again, we have a toddler during all of this, so she's very excited, but again, we have a pregnant mom that's about to have her puppies, so it's an aggressive situation, and she doesn't feel comfortable being around. So my husband is her favorite person in the whole world, so we left my husband with her so she could try and have these puppies on her own, and feel comfortable and not nervous about anything or having a child jumping around her at all times. So Emerson, our daughter, we just kind of put her to bed. It ended up being later in the evening that she started to have these puppies. So she went into labor. About 30 minutes later, we did not see a puppy. So we were just really trying to comfort her, keep her cool. We had fans going. We had it outside in our garage. That's where she felt most comfortable with, without any other dogs or kids or any other distractions. So about 30 minutes into it, she still wasn't having any puppies. So we continued to wait and kind of monitored the process. We monitored her for about an hour before realizing that she still wasn't having any puppies. So we did at that point call our on-call vet because it was towards the end of the day. I want to say it was like 10 or 11 o'clock at night. So we called the on-call vet, and the vet said she was probably just having contractions or things like that, and it wasn't anything to be concerned with. So to go to bed, keep her as comfortable as possible, go to bed, wake up in the morning, and then we should have puppies. So we all go to bed. We did not sleep at all. Constantly we're checking on her probably every 30 minutes or an hour, and we never saw any puppies. So we woke up that next morning and Nelli was extremely lethargic. So we noticed that there was some black fluids that were all over her nest area that we were planning on having her labor, and she was very lethargic. She wasn't actually able to stand or walk or do anything. So at that point we called the vet immediately, and took her to the vet, which was challenging because we have a toddler at the same time. So we took her to the vet. We called grandma. Grandma came and picked up Emerson, and we went to the vet. At that point, the vet said that they had to do some x-rays and they wanted to give her some Pitocin. So they were able to give her some Pitocin to try to push the process along, and then they sent us home. So they gave us the Pitocin. They said it'll last about 2 hours. They also gave her a bunch of fluids. They said it would last about 2 hours, and then we would hopefully see Puppies within the next hour. And that's just, the vet really wanted us to make sure that she was comfortable and she was in an environment that she was used to. If the dog is under a lot of stress, that can cause issues during the labor process, or so the vet told us. So at that point then we picked up Nelli. We were able to determine that based on the x-ray she had 11 puppies. We took her home. We had the Pitocin. We waited 2 hours. She still did not have any puppies, so we rushed her back to the vet. And she was still having this like black liquid all over the place. So we took her back to the vet, and the vet said that they're going to have to do an emergency C-section to remove the puppies and get the puppies out of her, because it's just her, it was ready in time for the puppies to come out. So you're signing all of the paperwork, and there was one sheet of paper that had said if you need to revive, if we need to revive the dog, you need to give us permission to do so. So of course, this is our family, this is our dog, we absolutely love her. So of course we went ahead and did that. So we signed that document, she went back, and they said they would call us and let us know how it went. So I'll show you some pictures right here of what she looks like right before we went in. So we waited probably about 4 or 5 hours, and we called the vet because we still had not heard back. So at this point, we received the bad news that there was a puppy that didn't come out of the birth canal as it should have. And what had caused that is it just had gotten twisted or in the wrong location. To be honest, it was kind of hard to hear those news, but the puppy did not come out the birth canal like it should have. So they did the emergency C-section. They were able to remove the puppy. She had a total of 12 puppies. The one that was in the birth canal did not make it. So we were down to 11 puppies. So she still had 11 puppies, which is a large litter for her. But during the process, Nelli did flatline. So they did revive her. And then she continued to flatline. So I'll show you some pictures of the puppies right here. This is what they look like right when they were born. They're super cute. So what they ended up having to do is they ended up having to put Nelli on a breathing machine. So she was on a breathing machine, and they were able to nurse the puppies as much as they could with still having her breathing. So we were able to go back to the vet and see Nelli at this point. She was still really lethargic and really tired, and it was just not our dog. She just didn't seem like our dog. But they had her on a breathing machine. They were able to get the puppies on, nursing, things like that. So it was an interesting experience. So at that point, we then had to make the decision of if we wanted to take her off of the machine and continue to keep these puppies and bottle feed these puppies and do that, or if we wanted to try to find an adoptive mother that would feed these puppies. So going through the process of trying to find an adoptive puppy mom that's willing to feed 11 puppies, the vet told us would be extremely challenging. So they had started bottle feeding these puppies. We have 11 puppies that we're bottle feeding. They have to be fed every 2 to 4 hours. It was 2 hours for the first couple weeks, and then it moved on to 4 hours. And then we were able to actually slowly give it to them in a bowl. And then we were able to continue on with that process. So we had to make the very hard decision of if they take her off the breathing machine and she does not continue to breathe, that we would not revive her. Essentially, the vet told us that they had already revived her 2 times, and if we continue to do this, that her brain is just not going to function as it should. So very, very hard decision, very long nights for our family trying to make this decision, and we decided to not revive her at that point. So if she were to come off the machine and she would not be able to breathe on her own, then we would not revive her at that point. So we made that decision, and that was extremely hard. The vet said that they were going to do it that night and see if she makes it through the night, and then they would have an on-call vet that would stay throughout the whole night with her and make sure that she was comfortable and that she didn't have any seizures or anything like that. So Again, that night we go home, the puppies are still at the vet, they're just bottle feeding them. So we went home. Again, we got no sleep because we were told that they would call us as soon as they hear anything. We got a call right away, probably 6:30, 7 o'clock in the morning, the following morning. And they told us that Nelli actually made it through the night, which was a miracle. They did not think that she was actually going to make it through the night. So she did make it, which was awesome. So we went in there and she looked like a whole nother dog. They said that she was like a miracle. They don't understand why or how it worked, but she heard Adam's voice, my husband, and she actually came running. Like, it was not her full sprint run, but she definitely was running and she was very, very excited. So Nelli was safe. However, the vet still wanted to keep her there just to make sure that she is still doing okay, and making sure and monitoring her and making sure nothing else happens. So we decided to keep the puppies and Nelli at the vet for almost 2 weeks. And then we decided at 2 weeks that we would take on the process of feeding these puppies. Nelli, since she had gone through so much trauma and so much shock, she was not nursing the puppies to the need that they needed. So she would nurse them, but it was not enough for 11 puppies. And she was also extremely tired, so we had to keep giving her her medicine, her shots, and things like that to keep her up and going. So we ended up having to bottle feed these puppies every 2 hours, and then that was for about 2 weeks, and then we had to continue to feed them every 4 hours as they got a little bit older. Again, if you go through this process, please talk to your vet. I'm sure every vet has a different set of instructions on what you needed to do, but this is what we ended up doing. So I will show you a picture right here. We ended up going to Walmart and just buying a bunch of baby bottles and formula, feeding them that way. All of the puppies were extremely great. They were adorable little puppies. We were originally planning on keeping one of the puppies, but during this whole process, it was just too emotional for our family, so we chose to sell all of the puppies. But the fun part is when you do have puppies, and if you do have a baby or a toddler, there's a lot of fun things that you can do with them. So it was really great to see Emerson get involved with these puppies. We're still good friends with a few family members that bought some of the puppies, or friends that bought the puppies. And they're great. They're amazing with children. And that's probably because we did have Emerson. I'll show you some clips here about Emerson actually diving into the dog pen with them and playing with them and wrestling with them. So seeing how that was, I would strongly recommend, even if you have puppies in the normal sense. We don't seem to do anything normal in my house, but in the normal sense, if you do have puppies, I strongly encourage, and if you have kids, I strongly encourage you play with them as much as you can. Long story short, if you have babies and you have a puppy, I would strongly recommend that you get your babies involved with the puppy, and the puppies get used to being held and coddled and played with. I'll show you some videos and some pictures here of Emerson playing with the dogs. She absolutely loved them. The puppy on your belly.
Oh no, it's so like poop out.
Pappy.
Hey, please. Can you lay flat?
Hold the puppy on there.
Whoa. Nope. Pull it out. Pet the puppy? Good job. Ever since they the puppy. Good job. Not cooperating with you? There you go.
Do you want to come over here and do it, Pete?
Puppy
And you
pile.
can get right on her.
There you go.
Did you smile for Grandpa?
Can you count the
Are
puppies?
you in puppy heaven?
Can you count the puppies? You got them all. That's all the puppies.
Can you give the puppy a kiss?
Whoa, is that Nelly? You got an escapee here. They're all attacking me. How many puppies can you pet? How many puppies can you pet?
I wish I had some better advice on when you actually saw the puppies, what to do when the puppies go, because that was a little bit hard for Emerson. She really kind of got attached to those puppies and loved having them around. And it was a little different for her seeing that we have 11 puppies, now 10 puppies, now 9 puppies. We actually had one family take 2 of the puppies, so it was an interesting dynamic trying to get her to understand that those puppies aren't going to be with us forever. I think she thought we were going to have all these puppies for so long, which our house was already chaos for a while. So with all of this, it is very stressful. It is a lot of work. We got less sleep with these 11 puppies than we did when Emerson was born. So it's a lot, but I strongly encourage that you reach out to family and friends and have them come help. We had family members come over and stay the night and feed the puppies, and they enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun for them to experience something like that. I am very, very happy to say that we still have Nelli. Everything with Nelli has been perfectly fine. She is perfectly healthy. She is back to hunting. we're not supposed to hunt her to the full extent that we used to, but she loves it, and it's really hard for us to get her to calm down from hunting. It's just what she does, and it's what she enjoys doing. So it's a lot of fun having that, and it's a lot of fun seeing that she can still do that. Please stay tuned for next week's video. I know this one is a random one. I know it is off the cuff, but it is something that happened to our family, and it was a traumatic experience. And so anyways, stay tuned for next week's video. I hope you like this. Please leave any comments down below. I'm trying to get better at this as I go. I'm just learning. So please stay tuned for next week.